Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. So this is my first video on this channel, Curious Sphere. So basically this channel is for the civil service exam aspirants, both for the UPSC as well as state PCS. So through this series of video, we'll start with the current affairs magazine from Vision IAS. So in this video, we're gonna see polity and governance topic. We have 4 major articles for the mains examination and 6 small articles. So let us start with the first one. So first article talks about the tribunal systems in India. So tribunal is basically an important topic for the UPSC, right? So basically the context is there is a tribunal called Armed Forces Tribunal. So basically for the armed forces and the matters related to them. So they have actually directed the government to make a policy to fill up the post of Judge Advocate General. So basically they were directing the government to make some policies. Okay, so Supreme Court ruled that tribunals cannot direct the government to frame the policy. So this is the context. So let us see यहाँ पे जो table दिया है, that is important. So from the prelims perspective, income tax appellate tribunal that was established as a first tribunal in India. Then यहाँ पे committee है, Swaran Singh committee. So this is important. So what they noted in the 1976 that High Court में बहुत सारे cases pile up हो चुके हैं. So we need to establish some quasi judicial body. So this committee recommended this thing, and subsequently through the 42nd amendment, article 323A and article 323B were inserted in the constitution. Okay, so these two articles basically deals with the tribunals. So this is basically the history, like how the tribunal system has evolved, right? Then basically these two articles will also see what they mentions, right? Then comes the important thing, Finance Act 2017. Okay, so यहाँ पे क्या होता है, बहुत सारे redundant tribunals है, like they have similar jurisdiction, like conflicting jurisdictions were there. So उनको काफी सारों को merge किया गया, and the number was reduced from 26 to 19. Okay. Then also यहाँ पे थोड़ी सेंट्रल को पावर दी गई, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को, to make the rules for the qualification, appointment, removal, conditions of service. So all these powers related to tribunal were transferred to the central government. Then एक चीज आती है, recently 2021 में एक एक्ट पास किया गया, that is Tribunal Reforms Act 2021. So ये क्या करता है, so this यहाँ पे काफी सारे ट्राइब्यूनल को अबॉलिश कर दिए गए. फॉर एग्जांपल फिल्म सर्टिफिकेशन अपीलेट ट्राइब्यूनल, सो ये सारे अबॉलिश कर दिए गए. एंड ऑल्सो प्रोसेस में भी, अपॉइंटमेंट की प्रोसेस में भी थोड़ा चेंजेस आया. सो लेट अस सी दिस आर्टिकल. ओके, सो AFT ने जो बेसिकली द कॉन्टेक्स्ट है डिस्कस, राइट? देन लेट अस सी द कोर्ट रूलिंग. सो व्हाट डिड कोर्ट से? Tribunal subject to the High Court jurisdiction under Article 226. So this is important article for High Court. So Supreme Court is saying that tribunal cannot be permitted by law to direct the framing of a policy by the government. Okay, so ये यहाँ पे government को नहीं बोल सकते कि भाई तुम ये policy बना दो, ये कर दो. So basically their work is to restricted to the judiciary domain. They cannot interfere in the other domains, right? So this is an important part about this article, like about tribunal systems. Okay, so tribunal is basically यहाँ पे पूरा questions भी आ सकता है mains के. So how we can write, tribunals basically are quasi judicial bodies. So they are not like completely judicial body. They are called quasi judicial body. Okay, so we'll understand how we are saying that it, as a quasi judicial body, right? And what is the objective? as I also said, right, their main objective is to reduce the caseload of judiciary, right, and bring in subject expertise and for technical matters. Okay, so basically यहाँ पे बहुत सारे केसेस थे जुडिशरी के पास, उनको थोड़ा बर्डन रिड्यूस करना और काफी सब्जेक्ट मैटर्स के रिलेटेड जो ट्राइब्यूनल्स है तो उनके एक्सपर्टीज को यूज करके वहां पे जजमेंट्स देना, राइट. सो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल रिकॉग्निशन कब मिली उनको? एज आई सेड, थ्रू 42nd अमेंडमेंट इन 1976. These two articles were inserted. Article 323A talks about the Central Administrative Tribunal, CAT, right? So it basically, this is for the administrative domain only, and only the parliament has power to constitute this, both at the center and the state level. Okay, and Article 323B says that there can be tribunals for the other subjects as well, right? For the certain subjects, earlier they were saying certain subjects, such as taxation, land reforms, and for which the parliament as well as state legislature, they can constitute the tribunal. Okay, but in 2010 सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक क्लैरिफिकेशन दिया, उसमें बोले कि 323 में जो सब्जेक्ट्स है, they can go beyond, like they can go beyond the certain specific subjects. So all the matters which were included in the Schedule 7 of the Constitution, for which a tribunal can be constituted, right? So किसी भी आंसर में ये होगा हमारा इंट्रोडक्शन, ये constitutional provisions. Then let us see like how tribunals are made up. Okay, so what all members are there, what is the jurisdiction. So tribunal basically, how we can say quasi judicial, because they have judicial members and other like technical members. If मतलब courts में क्या रहता है, courts में खाली judicial members ही होते हैं, that's why they are called judicial bodies. So because we have technical members, some expert or field domain SMEs are there, right? So because of that, we can call it as a not completely a judicial body, but they are involved in the judicial purpose only, right? So we can say them are quasi judicial members. So this is the composition. Okay, and here also from the traditional courts how they are distinguished, right? Jurisdiction क्या रहता है, अलग अलग रहता है, depends on the type of tribunal, right? So for example, यहाँ पे specific jurisdiction भी हो सकता है to hear and decide the case with the designated area of expertise, and किसी के पास appellate jurisdiction भी रहता है to hear the appeals from the lower courts, right? अभी ट्राइब्यूनल्स का अगर डिसीजन चैलेंज करना हो तो कहाँ जा सकते हैं? सो मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस में हाई कोर्ट में जा सकते हैं, बिकॉज वी हैव सीन, राइट, ट्राइब्यूनल इज द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ हाई कोर्ट जुरिसडिक्शन अंडर आर्टिकल 226. सो इसको चैलेंज हाई कोर्ट में किया जा सकता है, एंड कुछ स्पेसिफिक केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी जा सकते हैं. ओके, यहाँ पे केस दिया, आई थिंक दैट इज नॉट दैट मच इम्पोर्टेंट. सो यहाँ पे क्लाइन, tribunals have been created both as a substitute to the High Court as well as subordinate to the High Court, right? So because when we challenge the cases in the High Court, so that is subordinate to the High Court, right? Then यहाँ पे significance दिया है. Like what is the importance of the tribunal? यहाँ पे क्या क्या होता है? Like we seen, right, specialization include होता है, technical members are included apart from the judicial members. So यहाँ पे थोड़ा technical angle भी आ जाता है. To decide any particular case, we require some technical expertise. Then यहाँ पे speedy resolution रहता है, then the traditional matters, right? तो यहाँ पे थोड़ी flexibility रहती है. And यहाँ पे judiciary का case load reduce होता है, और यहाँ पे geographically diverse होते हैं, like different benches होती है, तो easy access रहता है. It's not like the Supreme Court कि वहाँ पे हमें हर बार दिल्ली सीट्स पे जाना पड़ेगा, right? Efficiency in the service matter. Okay, that is fine. What are the challenges? Like what are the concerns? So यहाँ पे रहता है, एक हमने देखा 2021 में Tribunal Reforms Act, right? So through which and also the Finance Act 2017. So यहाँ पे जो सारी powers थी, that is in the hands of government. So यहाँ पे काफी बार क्या होता है कि गवर्नमेंट का इंटरफेरेंस रहता है. Okay, concerns about the potential or undue influence in the decision making, right? So from the government. 2019 में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी एक बार हाईलाइट किया था कि लेट ऑफ जुडिशियल डोमिनेंस इन सिलेक्शन कमिटी ऑफ ट्राइब्यूनल्स. सो यहाँ पे इट वायलेट्स द डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर्स, राइट. सो ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज है. देन बहुत सारे ट्राइब्यूनल्स बनाने के बाद भी बहुत सारे केसेस यहाँ पर पेंडिंग रहता है, बिकॉज इनका पर्पज ही ये था कि पेंडेंसी को रिजोल्व करे, बट यहाँ पे ये लोग भी पेंडेंसी बढ़ा रहे हैं. सो राइट, दैट इज नॉट सर्व्ड. Then there is also concern regarding terms of office. या फिर फटाफट से टर्म्स चेंज हो जाता है, शॉर्ट टेन्योर रहता है तो वो भी एफिशिएंटली काम नहीं कर पाते. लेक ऑफ यूनिफॉर्मिटी इन प्रोसीजर्स, मतलब बहुत सारे डिफरेंट प्रोसीजर्स होती है ट्राइब्यूनल्स की, अलग अलग ट्राइब्यूनल्स की अलग अलग प्रोसीजर रहती है, एंड समटाइम्स इनका ज्यूरिसडिक्शन भी ओवरलैपिंग रहता है. सो इट इज नॉट लाइक वेरी मच क्लियरली डिफाइंड. सो ये सारे चैलेंजेस है, राइट, कंसर्न रिगार्डिंग टेक्निकल मेंबर्स. तो यहाँ पे होता है कि टेक्निकल मेंबर्स है तो